Hey everybody, how are you? And welcome to Chapter 5 of the Global Shift. Now, over the last few weeks, we've been talking about a lot of different avenues and a lot of different things, spirituality and science and experiences that I've had. But what we've also been talking about is how you yourself are going to be able to connect with your higher self. Trust the voice inside and understand that you are being communicated to by the living universe. It is speaking to you, God is speaking to you, and it does not matter what faith you are, because all faiths are welcome as long as we embrace light and love over hate and violence. Now, I've expressed some experiences last week, and in this past week since then, some things have come to light for me. Amazing things, and we'll talk about those down the line. But I'm going to keep these episodes down within 30 minutes now, so they're going to be a little shorter. We're going to have the topics kind of limited a little bit so we really get to focus where we're going now, because now it really starts to get serious. We've done some meditative exercises, and I hope you're still doing them. And at the end of this episode today, we will talk about those and where we're going to go with them. But the first thing I want to talk about is the gratitude. Before we get started, I have to give thanks for you watching, and I have to thank the living universe for giving me the ability, the clear conscious and mind to deliver messages to you from my heart, from my soul, and from the living universe. And I truly mean this. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is what we were talking about last week. When we were talking about God and creation and the eventual evolution of our species, I really incorporated a tremendous amount of computer technology, digital technology into the conversation. And I'd really like to be clear on something right now. It's the only way we can explain it, okay? We understand that we are evolving into a higher being, a being of energy. Everything is going to evolve to this point of energy. Well, that energy is a form of technology. You have to really just start to look at things differently and perceive them differently. Don't think because the word technology is used that it's bad, but we are a part of one of the most incredible living beings, a conscious being that is just beyond our comprehension. It uses everything from chemistry to biology to spirituality to science to create all there is. The only thing that we know in our lifetime now that can even come close to comprehending and simulating something like this is a computer. We know computers will wake up and our biology will be incorporated with the technology, and our species will evolve from there. And that's where I really want to kick this off with you right now. I've spoken about the separation of science and religion, biology and technology. Now, bear with me that this is, again, going to be something that's a little odd to get your mind around, but we have to start shifting our perspective, because once we do this, you will understand that everything I am telling you is based on light and love, because that's what the universe, that's what God wants you to do, is project light and love. And we'll talk about that in a second. Now, the separation of science and religion was purposely done to keep us in the dark, to keep us those peasants paying the king's taxes. You know, we grew, society grew, and here we are today, but it's the same thing. You're working your life away, you're paying 40% of your salary to taxes, and then you still have to go out and pay for your car and your food and fuel and all these other things, and it's insanity what's being done to us. And this is done purposely because the truth, we had a portion of the truth taken out, and a bunch of industrial knowledge was put in there. Science and religion. Science and religion. Let's talk about that. And the only way we can really get into the nitty-gritty of science and religion are talking about the two big subjects that go head to head every single second of every single day on all corners of this beautiful planet. All right? Creation versus evolution. We're going to end this debate right now. For you to understand evolution and creation, we have to understand that they are both one. If God created this planet and all of a sudden just put people on it, conscious people as adults, they would be lost. They would be scared unless they were fully programmed in what they had to do. That wouldn't be an experience. You'd witness nothing because you would just be a robot. To truly experience life, you have to be pure and erased and empty as a vessel when you come here, so you can purely and honestly experience what's before you. So evolution and creation. When everything was created, when life was put on this planet, as I mentioned, you could not have big, adult, intelligent, conscious life. It just wouldn't work like that. Life had to start off in the simplest form and work its way all the way up naturally, each stage honoring, experiencing, and embracing its surroundings. The human eye. We're going to focus on the human eye as our subject of technology and biology and science and religion being separated, which I hope will give you something to think about on your own about creation. Forget the rest of your vessel. Forget it. One eye has more atoms than there are stars in our entire universe. Not our galaxy, not our galaxy, over 400 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy alone. I'm talking about there are more atoms in your eye than there are all stars in the universe. And if you think about your entire body, it is just an insane universe on its own. The eye, more atoms than stars in the entire universe. Now, science says to you, well, evolution is true because the eye developed over time. It had to adapt along the way. Creation says no. The eye is the way it is because God just made it that way. So one ignores the spirituality and one ignores the logic and the science. The human eye has adapted along the stages, so each life was able to use the tool in which it needed to. The human eye is the result of, I was going to say years, but that is just a ridiculous understatement. The human eye is a result of just millions and millions and millions and millions of years of evolution. God created it this way so it would evolve as life needed it. When we were underwater as little cells and we had hardly any light, the eye was a specific way. When we came out of land, for decades and decades, the eye had to adapt to the environment and change. As we became human, and as we evolve beyond, it will change again. It will change again. The human eye is a piece of technology designed to evolve with the species and adapt to its environment in its current state of existence. It's that simple. Evolution and creation are one. God didn't blink and make a bunny because the bunny wouldn't know what to do. It couldn't be a bunny. He had to blink and make the individual organism that would one day branch out of the tree of life and create that bunny and evolve so that bunny knew what it had to do to be a bunny. The same as a human. The same as a human. We are a vessel for an intelligent consciousness. There was the original consciousness. It gave birth to all of us, a gift to experience and witness its creation. And what happens is when we leave here, we go on and experience more things. But guess what? The superconsciousness, is connected to our individual consciousnesses, right? Our individual experiences are connected to all of our experiences. You are plugged into an entire universe of existence. Right now, you can only access what you need to be you. When you are not here and you go back to your normal state of that light being, which we are all evolving to, you have more of that. So I really want you to understand that biology and technology really are going to, and they are right now before your eyes, merging medically, scientifically, and even spiritually, because we're talking about it right here, shifting it. Keep that in mind. Research it on your own about the human eye. Look at the evolutionary stages of the human eye. But I dare you to argue with me that it was not designed, programmed, written, created to follow that path. It absolutely 100%, I know it was. I need you to find out on your own that it was. Now, why am I doing this series? Why am I putting these out here each week? Is it to talk about God and religion? No, not necessarily. And yes. Is it to talk about politics? No, and yes. It's to talk about everything. I said in an earlier episode that every single thing that we honor and get out there and pursue on a daily basis is off. And it is all based on misguided perceptions. We have to truly and literally shift our entire consciousness, our entire being. We have to stop listening. We have to stop listening to the mind that society as a whole, education, spirituality, parents, everything has taught us. What we pursue, what we think is right, what we think is wrong, we have to stop. We have to listen. Listen within to that other voice, because that other voice is not only your higher self, and I truly mean a future version of yourself communicating with you now. It is not only that, it is also the living universe, God, communicating with you. And it is your spirit guides. And guess what? Spirit guides are not these random people who just pop up. Your spiritual guides are actually experiences that your superconsciousness has had. So if you have God and we all branch off from God, and then my original gifted consciousness is here, and then here's that life and that life and that life and that life, and here I am now. If I need a guide, my consciousness is going to choose from one of my experiences, one of my lives, and choose one of them to guide me. You are a self-driven machine that is directly connected to your true original light being, that is truly connected to the divine creation, the super consciousness, the all-knowing being, God. No matter how you want to refer to him, her, it is God. I said the other day to somebody, faith is like a GPS system. We all have our vehicles, right? And we're all on our path. We're all driving down these roads and these streets, and we have our faith, our GPS system, our coordinates that we're following. And we're all going in different directions. Some are in groups, some are driving in groups, some are driving in groups, some are lost, right? We all have our GPS system, our faith, but in the end, when we all stop our vehicles and we get out, guess what? We all go to the same home. So here right now is the number one purpose of the global shift, and I'm going to share with you some more things that I have experienced that'll blow you away, and I promise you these things are right there at your fingertips. The purpose of the global shift is to use love and light before anything else. Now, what is love? What is love? We all have our hallmark sentiments, right? We all have the little mushy sentiments that we've been told are love, that we see are love, that we buy are love, right? And we also have inside these feelings. I would die for you. I would give my life for you. I would work forever for you. All of these things, and they're all beautiful. They're all beautiful, and you're right. They are versions of love. But what is real love? When you look at somebody and say to them, I love you. I really love you. What am I saying to you? What am I saying to you? This is what I'm saying to you. That every single time I look at you and I interact with you, I will be the best version I can of myself. I will be the kindest I can be. I will be the most compassionate I will be. I will be the most patient I can be, the most understanding I can be at all times. I will inspire you always. I will listen to you and guide you and work with you through every dark day of your life. I will support every good moment, and I will support every bad moment, and I will love you no matter what. I will use my light to illuminate your life and let you feel the love of God and your higher self inside of you, and know that the true existence, the true purpose of our experience, why everything was created in the first place, was to empty the loneliness and fill the void with love. If we use that and project that as our perspective, then everything is done. And I truly mean always. Your child is annoying you, it's doing something that bothers you, you turn around, you yell, stop doing that, get away from there, don't touch that. Are you using love? Or are you using impatience and anger and frustration? You had a bad day at work, you come home and there's your spouse and you just vent out and be frustrated on them. Are you using love or are you using anger and rage and impatience? When you say you love someone, it doesn't mean you'll die for them, and it doesn't mean you'll work 90 hours a week from them, and it doesn't mean you love your children so much that you're going to compete with all your friends and put them through the best college that you can. It means that every single moment and experience you have with them, you are going to emanate nothing but love, and you are going to illuminate with your energy their physical energy. You're going to guide them with your heart and your soul always. That's the purpose of the global shift, is to let black and white know racism is a perspective. It doesn't matter what my granddaddy raised me to believe, that black people are this and this and this, and it doesn't matter because my black friends have told me that they've been raised by their grandparents to believe all white people are the devil. So if we all walk around believing that, what are we projecting at each other? What is our perspective? We don't hunt down racism and find it and end it. It's a perspective. We change it. We change it. We don't look at another faith, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, with hate for not following ours, and we dare call out one religion and say, well, you call everyone an infidel and you want to kill them, when we have goyim and heathen in the biggest religions on the planet. And it's the same exact thing. So the manipulation that happened to man long ago, that separation of science and religion, that separation of biology and technology, the separation of truth and deceit, of light and darkness, is exactly why there is a separation on the planet. It doesn't matter what faith and what way you honor God. If your book, my book, or anyone's book tells you to harm, hurt, or kill, or hate another being for not following your path, then I want you to know that that was done by the evil in which your book tells you to avoid. You see, they couldn't just feed you 100% bullshit because we're too smart. Our light being wouldn't let that happen. But since we're corrupted from birth, we have that flaw. We've been brainwashed. So we do believe that. And think of what I said. Your book preaches love, 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 love. Thou shalt not kill. But then we're killing each other for not following our faiths. We're blowing up buildings, we're storming countries, and we're blowing up places, and they're blowing up places, and we're killing each other. We're such a long, 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 long way away from a true global unity. Everyone is mixed up. They don't know what to believe, who to listen to, what politician is right, what government to follow. And all you need to do is love. Truly, truly love. And it starts with yourself. It starts with yourself. And how do we do this? We're at about 20 minutes now, and we've got about 10 minutes to go. I told you, 30 minutes are our episodes right now. In our first episode, I told you to just start meditating. And as you're sitting there meditating, I don't need you in a position. I don't need Om. I don't need anything. Just you in a dark room with as much quiet as you can get around you with your eyes closed. And instead of sitting there trying to not think about what you're thinking about, just visually look at the darkness around you, the void, our original consciousness. Look at that void. Stare at it. That's all I wanted you to do for the first week. The second week, I asked you to do something differently. I said, before you open your eyes, really, really now, focus on the back of your eyelids in this dark room. Notice the dots and the noise that you see. I didn't reveal dots and noise, but I said, notice what you see, and then open your eyes and spend 5 minutes in that room of darkness. And again, if you've done this, you saw the noise, you'll know what I mean when you see it. And when you opened your eyes, that same exact noise was everywhere, vibrating and flickering. And then what I asked you to do the next week, after continuously doing this, is now start to daydream, zone out, drool on yourself with your eyes open in the daylight, in a room, staring at an object. And you'll see what I refer to as the invisible rain. I want to call it a mist, because it's more like a mist. It's the exact same thing you're seeing in the darkness. Whether your eyes are closed or whether your eyes are open, whether it's day or whether it's night. And I need you now for the next week to focus on that. Go through these, because where we are about to go next is going to blow your doors off. Last week I filmed an episode here when the sun was setting, and the camera had all sorts of noise on it. Low light noise. The camera, the digital camera, was nothing but low light noise all over the image. When you meditate and you see that noise, and you open your eyes and you see that noise, and during the day you see that noise, it's everywhere. And it's not only a low light noise trying to assemble images, because you can see it during the day. And when you really see it in a dark room, when you open your eyes, you'll see objects in your room. You'll see your chair and stuff. It's not going to be that dark. But when you see this everywhere, you will start to understand that what you are seeing in the daytime and in the nighttime are the vibrating photons in which our entire existence is illuminated in. And our consciousness streams down into this vessel to experience this created world. Now I want you to continue on with these meditation exercises, exactly the same way as I have guided you in these last few weeks. Please don't deviate from them. Don't try anything else. Go back on this episode and watch and listen what I said 5 times if you have to. But I need you all to do something for me. I need you all to really do something for me. First, I'm going to give gratitude for it. I'm so humbly grateful to be able to have this opportunity and the confidence in myself to talk to everyone. I cannot even express how much love and gratitude I have in my heart to truly know that since a childhood, this connection has been real. And I cannot even tell you how finally thankful I am that I finally know and believe what is really happening. I'm asking for the living universe to please shift your perspective to love. Do the best you can to try and use those thoughts I gave you and let them emanate inside you and give you the words that you need yourself to understand and receive the message better, because you are receiving the same exact message. The living universe, God, is begging you to please embrace love and light, true love and light for every single being on this planet and the planet. Let your faith be something that guides you, lets you learn how to traverse through the earth and navigate and love what's around you. But please, if it says hate, switch it to love. If it says kill, switch it to honor and care. If it says invade, switch it to nourish. I beg you to please review your own book of worship and let's rewrite it a little bit. Because the original sin was not the first two beings sitting there watching a snake talk to them and saying, eat that apple, it's okay. This was the way man's mind, at that point of his intelligence, the capacity of his consciousness, was able to express this story. But here is the truth. The truth. The first people did not hear a speaking snake tell them to eat an apple. They weren't forbidden to eat an apple, as the earth provides for free everything we need to walk the earth and experience and love. Water, fruits, vegetables, nuts, whatever you want to eat, It's abundant and bountiful, and by environment, it's there for you. Okay? Original sin was man, first woman, experiencing and witnessing the serpent eat life. A snake killing an animal. They were tempted by that. If that animal can kill that animal and survive, and look how strong it is, and it's tackling it down, look at it. That animal is doing this. These animals are doing this. Why shouldn't we? This is all ours anyway. The apple is the heart. It's a metaphor, an image for children or for those back then to comprehend the story. The apple is a heart. Man, woman experienced the serpent extinguish life, a heart. And then in turn, they killed. And look where we are today. I'm not telling you not to eat meat. Predator prey, it's a natural thing on this planet. It's a natural, and I don't expect you to go out and hunt it down and kill it either, especially when the supermarkets have it all over the place for you. But what I would love for you to do, instead of praying for God for providing this animal for you to kill and eat, which it is not why he put it here, she put it here, it put it here. Whatever you want to believe, we'll get there. I want you to honor and give thanks to that animal for what it went through, the pain and the suffering that it went through to provide you with what you wanted to experience. And I want you to project love for that dead animal. Seriously, love it, because it's giving you your life. It's sustaining you because you're choosing to eat it. And it's okay, I swear to God, it's okay. I swear to God, it's okay. Okay? Listen, you need to project love. And the only way to do that is by shifting your own perspective. Start questioning all your thoughts before you act. Start questioning all your thoughts before you speak. And listen to one voice, the one that's inside. Everyone, we're out of time. I'll see you next week. I didn't even get to tell you some of my true experiences. We'll get to them next week. Everyone, with light and love. I'll see you next week.